The film opens on the busy streets of Paris as the city gets ready for Bastille Day festivities. A woman appears there, fully clothed, and immediately becomes the center of attention. Michael Mason, an American con man who is both shrewd and skilled at picking pockets, is just one of the many people milling around. Show me how he does at picking a naked pocket. When no one is looking, he steals their belongings, including wallets, phones, and other items. The woman is later revealed to be Michael's accomplice, for whom he paid €300 to stage the distraction. In the next scene, we meet Sean Breyer, a veteran operative with the CIA who has run into some trouble on a recent mission. His superiors have been grilling him about the incident and mocking him for failing to rescue a colleague. The focus then moves to another character, Gene, a man with nefarious intentions, but Sean defends himself by saying he weighs the risks and puts finishing the mission first. His girlfriend Zoe is instructed to place the bomb-laden teddy bear in a secure location within the French Nationalist Party headquarters. At first, Zoe is hesitant because she worries for the safety of bystanders. However, Jean has lost her ability to be convinced and has decided to move forward with the assignment. The goal is to appear menacing. However, nobody was supposed to be in the building when the bomb went off. In the meantime, Michael doesn't waste any time before selling the stolen goods to a mysterious man named Baba. He gets a whopping €900 reward for his haul. However, Zoe shows up at the designated spot with the teddy bear in her purse. She follows the instructions and plants it, but at that moment, the office is suddenly flooded with new visitors. This has convinced Zoe to reconsider. She then decides to abandon the mission, taking the purse with her outside. Michael is keeping a close eye on her as she nervously chats on the phone with her boyfriend, presumably because she is carrying something of great value. Having taken it, he quickly escapes. Michael has no idea that Zoe's cell phone and the teddy bear bomb are hidden in the bag. Jean calls Zoe again after a while, and this time Michael answers. Michael, hearing a male voice, immediately hangs up, completely oblivious to the seriousness of the situation. Sadly, he leaves the bag on the side of the road and takes a few steps away before the bomb goes off, taking the lives of 4 innocent people. Michael causes mayhem and then runs away. The blast doesn't go off where it's supposed to, but it still causes widespread damage. Meanwhile, the bomb's architect, Rafi, threatens the French government with more violence in the next 36 hours. After the bombing and threat, journalists swarm to Paris to question Mr. Victor, the head of French intelligence, about the city's security. In response, Victor promises that the Bastille Day parade will go on as planned and that the perpetrators will be apprehended soon. Next, a photo of Michael is captured by a security camera and sent to the CIA and Interpol. Michael's identity as a pickpocket with a troubled past is soon revealed. Raised in Las Vegas by a father who ran a casino and a mother who worked in real estate. They learn that Michael dropped out of school and started committing fraud to pay off his father's gambling debts. In order to stay alive, making their way to France. The French government then entrusts Sean with the mission of kidnapping Michael from his apartment and secretly turning him over to them. On the other hand, Michael is at home, perusing the news channels out of concern. Right at the same time that he sees his image being shown on TV as a wanted criminal responsible for the bomb blast, he gets the distinct impression that the authorities are closing in on him, so he makes frantic attempts to get away. Unfortunately, Sean sees him fleeing, and a time-consuming chase follows. Michael tries to outrun the seasoned agent, but the latter eventually catches up to him. He is then taken to an interrogation room where he will be questioned about his motivation for the bombing. Michael admits that he threw the bag, but he claims that it wasn't his. He'd taken it from a woman named Zoe, who was actually donning a blonde wig. He also gives back Zoe's phone, which he took just before the bomb went off. The story has Sean a little bit doubtful. Michael is asked to attempt a pickpocketing by the man to see how well he does. The con artist pulls it off as planned without breaking a sweat. Look. Boobs. Got it. At Sheen's house, Zoe is distraught because she thinks she is responsible for the deaths of 4 people. After assuring Zoe that his boss will not leave her alive, Gene advises her to leave Paris. Meanwhile, Raffi and his henchmen head to Gene's home in search of Zoe. They follow the signal from her phone, not knowing that Sean and Michael have it. Raffi, posing as a mailman, shows up at the destination. Sean anticipates conflict and readies himself accordingly. In the confusion, however, the bad guys are able to easily overpower him and beat him up. Michael is also the one to get away. Raffi and his men quickly realize that they have the wrong house and flee in panic. Then, after reporting to an older Tom, Sean goes in search of Zoe to learn the full story. Meanwhile, elsewhere in his office, Victor learns the location of the bomb manufacturers and immediately requests a meeting with the leader of a special police force known as Rapid. A short time later, he meets Rapid's commander, who reveals himself to be none other than Raffi. Right. Then they get some disturbing information about a possible terrorist threat in a community of Arab immigrants. Raffi and his quick team arrive at the scene without delay to conduct an investigation. In a disturbing turn of events, the team immediately launches a swift and violent raid on the settlements upon arrival. One of the police officers secretly places a bomb on the premises, thereby framing the law-abiding foreign nationals. It's tragic that the immigrants are rounded up and held responsible for the bombing while the real perpetrator, Michael, remains at large. Michael, unsure of where else to go, ends up at the home of his client and supposed friend, Baba. After Baba hears his plight and offers him and his family a place to stay, he turns on them and locks him in a room. It turns out Baba met with the officials, and the promise of French citizenship for his family was enough to convince him to sign up. After waiting a while, Raffi and his team arrive at the building and start searching for Michael in exchange for his assistance in capturing Michael. As Raffi and his men close in on the building, Michael, desperately trying to get away, finds a small crack in the wall and hides there. He's holding out for the right opportunity to escape. After a while, he decides to take a chance and runs outside. He doesn't realize a sniper is targeting him. In the nick of time, though, Sean comes to the rescue and saves Michael from the sniper's bullet. At the same time, Zoe makes it to her friend's safe house for refuge. Later that day, Sean and Michael investigate leads about Zoe's whereabouts. Unfortunately, they are attacked when they try to reach Zoe's friend's hideout to ask about her. The thugs made matters worse by torching Sean's car before making good their escape. The search for Zoe's friends and family continues. They devise a strategy. With the help of Sean, Michael is able to glean Paul's personal information from Zoe's phone and then use it to successfully rob Paul's place of employment and steal his ID card. When they visit one of Paul's houses, they discover that Zoe has been hiding there. Despite her protests, Sean immediately confronts her, and she eventually admits that her boyfriend, Gene, had ordered her to carry out the bombing. She goes on to say that the bomb was an act of defiance against fascism. But when she realized she could be putting innocent people in danger, she decided to turn around. After this, the three go to Gene's apartment to confront him, but run into Raffi first. They manage to get away from him, but only just. An unprovoked attack on Arab immigrants at a mosque sparks a massive anti-fascist demonstration in another part of the city. As more and more people joined the movement, the online protests grew in size and scope. But they had no idea that Raffi and corrupt police officers were behind it all. As things stand, RAF is intended to spread a hoax video of police torturing Arab protesters in order to incite violence. Meanwhile, Sean, Zoe, and Michael arrive at Gene's apartment to find him dead from a brutal Raffi attack. After searching the house, Sean recognizes his tattoo and locates an identification card. Gene's membership in the Rapid unit is exposed. Sean realizes at this point that Raffi and his men have been acting as police officers in order to cause trouble. Without delay, he tells his boss, Karen, about the bombing and framing of innocent immigrants by the corrupt Rapid squad, and he exposes their involvement in the crime. Karen, however, cautions him against eating rabbit and decides to transfer the investigation to French intelligence because the matter is outside the CIA's purview. Then, to tell Victor the truth, she sets up a meeting with him. Sadly, Victor kills Karen with a gun after she gives him the information he needs to expose himself as the plotter. He claims responsibility for the bombings and threats that threw the city into chaos and helped him frame Arab immigrants. After that, Victor gives the order for his men, including Rafi, to secretly eliminate Sean, Zoe, and Michael. The rapid squad arrives, but the three suspects manage to flee. Meanwhile, the online protesters have amassed a following of millions without realizing they were being used as pawns in Victor's master plan. Victor uses a press conference to mislead the public about the level of security being implemented. He also has the National Bank's security beefed up in a hurry. When Sean learns that Karen is no longer alive, he informs Tom, his superior officer, of Victor's true intentions. Tom, however, is hesitant because Victor is the head of French intelligence and they seem intent on foiling Victor's plot. Self-reliant Sean decides to take matters into his own hands and secure the bank. He abandons Michael and Zoe in the car and, posing as a police officer, enters the bank. Immediately upon his entering. Once inside, Sean uses the weapons he stole from the guards he killed outside to continue his assault. The police have taken over the security system and are currently disabling all alarms and cameras, adding to the list of problems he must solve. Rafi and his co-worker Christophe plan to steal €500 million from a digital money reserve using a flash drive. After killing a few cops, Sean's true identity is exposed. Outside, as shots ring out, the rapid team encircles him and opens fire. After learning of Sean's predicament, Zoe and Michael decide to come to his aid. They provoke a riot in order to break through the police line that has been set up. In spite of this diversion, Sean is able to fight off the police and kill them all. He then makes his way towards the vault to confront Rafi, who is in possession of the stolen funds on a flash drive. A fierce gun battle then breaks out between the two sides. Sean knocks Christophe out, but Rafi hides in a safe room. From there, he gets in touch with Victor to ask for help getting out of the jam he's in. Victor, however, does not, much to his dismay. If Rafi is caught, he will reveal his plans, Rafi says in response. However, Sean gets in touch with Michael and encourages him to steal the flash drive from Rafi. Michael, following orders, cleverly collides with Rafi as he walks out of the door, grabbing the flash drive from his pocket. There was no nudity to divert the latter's attention, but he soon found out. As a result, he kidnaps Zoe and threatens Michael's life unless he gets the flash drive back. But the police officers there shot and killed Rafi right then and there. It was revealed that Victor had ordered the murder because he was afraid Rafi would reveal his wrongdoings. In contrast to Michael, who is still considered a wanted fugitive, Victor is celebrated as a hero for exposing the police syndicate's corruption. The desperate Victor goes to Baba for help finding Michael so he can retrieve the flash drive containing $500 million in digital currency. Despite his better judgment, Baba tells his friend a lie about a high-paying buyer for the flash drive after being threatened by the crafty Victor. In the subsequent act, Michael is duped into meeting Victor at the church because he thinks he is the supposed buyer of the flash drives. When they finally meet face to face, Victor offers to trade the flash drive for money and a passport so he can leave the country. Michael, who seems to have taken the offer by surprise, hands over the drive. However, once Victor obtains what he seeks, he intends to eliminate Michael as a witness by pointing a gun in his direction. He has no idea that Michael, Sean, and the police have set up this elaborate trap to get a confession out of him and eventually take him into custody. At the film's conclusion, Victor is apprehended after his evil plan is exposed. Michael's deft manipulations and Sean's shrewdness lead to Victor's arrest and conviction, and the truth ultimately wins out. For more videos like this, please subscribe. Help out the channel by turning on notifications and leaving a like message. We appreciate you staying tuned.